going to say this here, and I'm going to say this now. There are some women who are out here. Well, of course, have you had your meal first? Have you eaten? Okay. Make sure you have a meal by this afternoon. You need to make sure you are on top of that. I want to speak to the topic that that a lot of women are bringing up right now, and I'm glad they are mentioning this because this is my lane, so to speak. I'm not saying I'm the best at this, but I just like it. Women were speaking on how there's all these guys, not a lot of them, but particularly within our community. Why do guys feel the need to speak on the women's physical nature, the aesthetic, their beauty, and give the world their projections, their assessments, their analysis, their critique, their evaluations on the women's physicality, on the women's appearance, on the women's shape, her face, like, very basic, very not basic, but very surface level beauty standards. Guys will give you their evaluation, whether you ask for it or not sometimes. So you have these like trolls or these internet people who are like, let's be honest. These aren't the people who you see out in the world, or you don't really have conversations with many of these people. But there are these individuals who have confidence behind their mobile devices, in which they can say pejorative or pernicious and negative, comments about women. And not to say, they're calling them bad names, but they're like, miss, she's a 10. She's a 9. She's a what? Like, she's not a 10. She's not a 9. Like, if you point out and be like, damn, like that girl right there, 10 out of 10. There's women sitting down like, okay, you pointed out homegirl as the 10 out of a 10, but what about the 100? What about the rest of the girls in the room? You know what I'm saying? What about, and not to say every woman is looking for that validation. Now, every woman doesn't need a random pedestrian bystander to be like, homegirl, you're a 10, right? You're a 10, right? You're a 10 out of 10, right? You're like well fit, right? You're proper fit, like fit, like somebody in which that if I were to see you, I didn't think I had a chance in God knows what to ever date you, to ever be with you, to ever have a one-on-one time with you. So being that you are so far out of my league because I am a guy who stands in the shadows, who has low self-esteem, who maybe has low self-confidence, because of my low self-esteem and self-doubt, because I have these fears, because I have these insecurities, and because it manifests through me articulating it based on what I am reading, writing, speaking, whatever the case may be. Now it's a part of my psychology. Now it's a part of my physiology. Now it's a part of my decorum, my behavior. The way I conduct myself is now in alignment with this belief system. So if I think this girl is a 10, whatever that means, and the rest of these girls are not, what in the world, like in what universe does an individual think that he can make a statement or a broad statement or these negative negative isn't even the word. It's not good. It's insensitive. Some people may say it's sexist. It's just like, it's incorrect. Like, because a guy can make say, oh man, this Rolls Royce is a 10 out of 10. This Ferrari is a 10 out of 10. But your bullshit ass Kia, that's some trash. Motherfucker, you don't have access to the Rolls Royce the Lamborghini, Ferrari, or the Kia. That's the issue. It took me 5 minutes of contextualizing that to be like, the issue is not that guys are just making these statements of like, oh yeah, if you look like Beyonce or Rihanna, if you look like some, light-skinned woman who I'm never gonna meet in my life, if you look like that, then you're bad. Then you're 10. Then you're great. Like, I mean, I wasn't gonna even speak to you because if you walk by me in real life, I would put my head down, or I probably would hide behind the bushes, or I would probably DM you on Instagram after you walk by me 2 hours later to say what's up. But like, I'm that kind of guy. The issue is, I know I'm that kind of guy. I know I'm not with the shit. I know I've never dated hot girls. I know I call girls hoes simply because I'm insecure because they're not fucking me. They're fucking my best friend who has a six-pack. Like, I know that this is my issue. But because I have these insecurities, because I have low self-esteem, because I have low self-doubt, because I don't want to fix my personal problems, I will start calling you out your name, homegirl. Oh, you're not giving me play? Well, fuck you too then, bad word. Oh, you're not responding to my 10 Facebook messages that you didn't respond to my DMs? Oh, you're a hoe now. Did you know that? You dropped down. You were a 10 before. Now that I found out that you had sex with, whoever the quarterback was for the opposing high school team, now that I figured out that you were, intimate with, the school's small forward in the parking lot of the fucking high school at the end of the Friday night basketball game, now that I know that, I'm gonna start calling you out your name now. You were a 10 before, but now you're a 6. Not because you dropped any levels, not because you changed anything, it's just because my self-esteem is hurt. My feelings are hurt now. Now that I found out, now that I took you on those dates and I bought you ice cream and I called your phone so many times and I brought you flowers, you're the greatest girl of all time. But once I realized that after I was courting you, buying you flowers, taking you out on dates, doing all these nice things, calling your phone, and then I found out through whomever, or maybe I found out through you because you just told me because you're an honest woman, that you were whole time still kicking it with your ex-homie, or your whole time you were still fucking with homeboy, or whole time you were still just doing your thing. You know what I'm gonna do now? Well, my feelings are hurt. I'm gonna start calling you bad names. That's the issue. That's the simple issue, bro. That's the simple issue. Homegirl, when guys are walking around saying, oh, this girl's an 8, this girl's a 9, this girl's a 10, I guarantee it. I guarantee with every fabric of my body, every fabric of my being, when those guys are saying that, they are not fucking. They are not dating. They are not pulling up on shit. Those guys are just talking. Those guys are they're just working their issues out. They're just working their issues out. When they're calling you hoes, they don't think that they're negatively or adversely affecting their community and their culture. It's not like when they're calling these girls thoughts and hoes, even though they're only black girls and you're a black guy, it's not like you're thinking like, damn, that could be my sister. That's that's somebody's daughter, right? That's somebody's sister, right? That's somebody's mom, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't really think about it because for you, she's just someone or something that I need to push down for me to elevate. You're just like, oh, these are the good girls, these are the esteemed girls, these are the sophisticated, refined women, and these are the women that are not. And if you are not, then you basically don't exist. Essentially, you don't exist. Essentially, you're nothing. Essentially, and this isn't true, of course, but this is the issue. That's why they're talking bad about you. It's not you, homegirl. For the sisters who are listening, I want you to really understand there's so much against you, but it's against the guys too. It's an internal thing. So what you need to do is focus on yourself, invest in yourself, deconstruct the ego, deconstruct the pride, and figure out where you need to be. God bless.